Oh, I always see I have too much caffeine in the morning. I'm like ready to go, but we've got to get the technology up and running first. No worries. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Let's call to order our Jefferson County Board of County Commissioners meeting for June 24th, 2025. I'm Leslie Dahlkemper here with Commissioners Kerr and Zenzinger. Our clerk this morning is Lane Blumquist, and our host is Katie La Liberté, who will handle requests for public comment and public testimony sign up in the chat for those of you who are joining us virtually. There are several ways to join our hybrid meeting, all of which are listed on our website at jeffco.us. You are always welcome to reach out to the board on the county's website at jeffco.us, or you can email the board at commish@jeffco.us. We'd also like to ask you to take just a moment to please silence your phones, and for some of us, our computers. And next, please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Next on our agenda is public comment, and the board will take up to 15 minutes at the beginning of our meeting, and if needed, additional public comment at the end of our meeting. And remember that public comment is only for items that are not listed on the agenda. If you're here to provide testimony on an item that we're going to remove from the consent agenda regarding our wildfire management program, we'll call on you to speak and provide testimony at that time. And that's coming up in just a few minutes on our agenda. So if you're speaking to an issue not currently on our agenda, this is our time to hear from you this morning. If you're joining us virtually, we ask you to please use a computer, send a note in the chat to our host with your full name, your address, and the topic. And when it's your turn, the host will give you permission to unmute yourself. I do see on our public sign-up sheet that we have some folks here who signed up to speak on the Wildland Fire Management Program. Again, we'll hold that one until we get to that agenda item. But we do have first up Christine Contramatos, who is here for an update. Welcome, and you have 3 minutes if you'll share your address.
Good morning. Christine Contramatos. I live on Florida Avenue in Lakewood. I've worked at the Jefferson County Public Library for over 14 years, and I'm here today to update you on our union activities. July 24th will mark 1 year already that we've been in negotiations with library management. We've signed, I think, 11 tentative agreements, and I'm proud to tell you that we just secured holiday pay for our hardest and lowest paid workers, time and a half. Those are our shelvers, our pages who maintain the library system, even on every holiday they work. So we're happy about that. We will not be negotiating in July due to our schedules and vacations. So our union plans are just to have some fun and to celebrate our successes. We're going to have a couple happy hour gatherings at local marketplaces and some trivia nights and things like that. We had some great success at last Wednesday's Library Board of Trustees meeting. We packed the house and we spoke about the restrictive proposed dress code that management is not budging on in negotiations, and their dress code would ban anything showing support for causes that we care about, like LGBTQ inclusion, diversity, and gender equality. 28 written comments were submitted prior to the meeting. We had 12 live comments from staff and the community. It was really a good night. I would just like to end by following up with a question that last time I spoke about a month ago, I talked about the open carry that's currently allowed in public libraries, open carry of firearms. And I even asked the management to request a vulnerability assessment of library buildings. And I just wonder, Mr. Kirby, if anybody's contacted you about that. So you don't have to answer me now. I'm just curious about that, and our staff is as well. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for your comments, and I know Mr. Kirby will circle back on your question. We also have with us this morning Mindy Moore. Ms. Moore, if you'd please come forward, speaking on the issue of planning and housing. Welcome, and if you would share with us your address, and you'll have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Mindy Moore, 11570 West 70th Place in Arvada. I'm here today speaking for myself and also for Kathy Smith of Golden, who's unable to be here in person. We're both former civil servants, me from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, Kathy from the U.S. Geologic Survey. We know that those serving the public, whether it's in local or federal government or as elected officials, are often maligned rather than thanked for their service. We're also well aware that many large organizations tend to operate in silos with various departments, not always communicating and working efficiently together towards a common goal. Well, Kathy and I would like to express our tremendous gratitude for the incredible work that the Jefferson County Manager, Joe Kirby, and departments are now doing to holistically address our county's current and future housing needs, while also considering transportation, water, and environmental constraints. And we recognize that it was the direction from you, the county commissioners, that helped enable this. Specifically, we and other advocates across Jeffco have been listening to recent staff briefings on planning for additional Jeffco housing needs. Your staff working in development and transportation, planning and zoning, housing, economic, and human services are all showing great ingenuity and cross-department coordination to develop implementation plans for strategies that will help the county. And you are considering the cumulative impacts of various development plans, which is so important, the cumulative impacts. We especially commend you for working so successfully with DOLA, the state, in transit-oriented community requirements and housing opportunity goals, as well as with the cities and communities in Jeffco. We recognize that this requires extraordinary effort and extra work and dedication by your staff to learn new approaches, understand new regulations. We really thank them. And we're also glad to see that you're applying or talking about applying for a housing planning grant from the state. Yay for the passage of Jeffco 1A last year that enables you to do this. We believe you're setting a model for all of our Jeffco jurisdictions and truly showing county leadership, embodying the name Together Jeffco. We hope you'll continue that leadership by ensuring close coordination between the county and the different cities on future regional planning for housing and transportation needs in Jeffco. Thank you very much.
Ms. Moore, thank you so much for your comments this morning. We appreciate them very much. Is there anyone else in the hearing room who would like to provide public comment on an issue not currently on the agenda? And is there anyone, Ms. La Liberté, who's joining us virtually who'd like to provide public comment at this time?
No one online.
Great, thank you. We will now close this round of public comment. Remember, we do have a round at the end of our meeting if anyone else would like to address the board. Next, we have the approval of the minutes dated June 17th, 2025. May I have a motion to approve?
I move for the approval of the minutes, June 17th, 2025.
Second.
Ms. Blomquist, would you please call the vote?
Commissioner Kerr?
Aye.
Commissioner Zenzinger?
Aye.
Commissioner Dahlkemper?
Yes, and that motion passes. Next, we have the consent agenda, and we have 12 items on the consent agenda. Commissioners, I'd like to remove item 6.9 to the regular agenda. And would either of you like to take an item off of the consent agenda?
No, thank you.
Okay. So with that, may I have a motion to approve items 6.1 through 6.12 with the exception of 6.9?
I move for the approval of consent agenda items 6.1 through 6.8 and 6.10 through 6.12.
Second.
Ms. Blomquist, would you please call the vote?
Commissioner Kerr?
Aye.
Commissioner Zenzinger?
Aye.
Commissioner Dahlkemper?
And that motion passes. Thank you. Next is our regular agenda, and as we just stated, we're moving agenda item 6.9 from the consent agenda. That is the 2025 budget, June supplementary budget and appropriation, with a specific focus on item 11. And next, I'd like to invite up Brian Keating, who's our Wildland Fire Program Manager with the Jeffco Sheriff's Office, to discuss item 11, again, which is part of agenda item 6.9. Welcome. Good to see you.
Can you please turn on your mic while you're down there? Yep, thank you.
That helps. I have a short presentation I will share with you guys here. That working? There we are. So I'm here this morning to talk about the proposal for the County Wildland Fire Management Program, which is part of the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office within the Emergency Services section. We've talked a few times about this already. I'm just going to provide a really brief overview. So the proposal to build and expand capacity for the Wildland Fire Management Program has the goal really to establish a holistic wildland fire management program for the county with the idea to protect the citizens and the values that we hold dear in the county from the threat of catastrophic wildfire. To that end, there's three main focus areas. The first one is on fire preparedness. And so as part of that, we really want to focus the program's efforts on doing risk mitigation work across the county. And one focus of that really is supporting local priorities. So we have our county community wildfire protection plan in place. Most of our fire districts either have a current community wildfire protection plan or in the process of doing that as well. And those locally developed CWPPs really focus in on what the priorities are for their communities, what the greatest risk is, and where the greatest need to do risk mitigation work is. And so the concept with the County Wildland Fire Management Program is really to support our partners, our fire protection districts, our fire departments, and other risk mitigation partners in the county to support them in the work that they've done to identify those risks. Another component along with fire preparedness is creating awareness. So focusing on wildfire education and outreach. There's a lot of work that's going on within the county. But we want to kind of pull that all into one house so that there's consistent messaging. So we're not confusing the public in terms of what they need to be aware of, how they need to be prepared. And so this program would take a leadership role in kind of pulling those efforts together. Another big component is creating a home assessment program for the residents of the county. And so we would have staff on board that would meet with homeowners that are interested. We would do an assessment, make recommendations on different kinds of mitigation they can do, both with regard to defensible space as well as home hardening to protect themselves from the threat of wildfire. And then we're also hoping to develop a microgrant program. So for our residents, a lot of that mitigation is expensive and or can be cost prohibitive. And so we'd like to establish a microgrant program that would offer some kind of a cost share effort with county investments to allow homeowners to be able to do that mitigation and mitigate their risk. The second component of the program is really focused on fire response. And so by building out staffing, building out capacity, bringing in more qualified folks as part of the Wildland Fire Management Program, we would have folks in place to be able to support our fire protection districts and the departments with nationally recognized wildland fire qualifications. Last year, as an example, the Quarry Fire, the Sheriff's Office stepped in and assumed control once that incident became really complex and exceeded the capacities of the local fire districts. But right now we're extremely limited. We've only got one qualified incident commander that would meet those requirements. Building out this program would allow us to have more capacity and be able to respond to multiple incidents if that were to occur. Also having the resources, line resources, fire crews and whatnot to augment the work that our fire protection districts are doing would also increase capacity. And then another important thing, again, last year, the Quarry Fire was a great example. we relied on outside resources coming to the county to support us and have that success that we did in suppressing the Quarry Fire. We rely on resources from outside the county, state resources, and even federal resources from across the country. And right now, we're not in a position to be able to reciprocate because we don't have any resources. So by building this program, having that capacity, we could not only benefit from our neighbors as we did last year, but we could also support them when they've got incidents and they're needing that help as well. And then the third component is more along the administrative line. So one of the things that we're focused on, and I know is a focus area for the Jefferson County Wildfire Commission, is data management. Right now, there's a lot of data that exists out there. It's not housed in one place. It's not accessible. We want to take a leadership role with this program to collect that data, create the platforms to support that work, not only that we're doing, but the work that our partners are doing. And by doing that, we're creating more efficiencies and helping all of the partners within the district. And then another component would be with the CWPPs that I mentioned prior. We need to review and update those on a 5-year cycle per Colorado State Forest Service requirements. That can be very onerous for a lot of our fire protection districts. They don't have the staffing or the skills or the capacity to do that on a 5-year basis. Having this county program in place, we would have staff with the expertise to be able to work with and support our partners in updating their CWPPs. So it would be a great benefit to them and help support the work that they're doing. So 2 real focus areas that we're looking at is in terms of building that capacity is staffing. This is a proposed org chart that we've put together. It includes 2 8-person mitigation crews, a staff Type 6 engine, a home assessment crew, a crew that's focused on wildfire education and outreach, as well as leadership positions like planning, like GIS, and then our fire management officer positions as well. So along with that capacity is also focusing on equipment. I've included a photo here that's got our Sheriff Marinelli, Commissioner Dahlkemper, Commissioner Carr, that were in a parade a couple weeks ago with a newly acquired Type 6 engine, the engine there in red. But we're also looking at chippers, chip haul trucks, masticators, trailers, other support equipment that our crews would use to complete mitigation work throughout the county and be strategic in the work that they're doing. And then last, I'm just focused a little bit on the benefits of the program. So the program that we're proposing in that capacity that we're building would allow for 7-day coverage. We would have 2 different shifts. And so we would have 7-day coverage across the county, both for response and for doing mitigation, which would be a new concept for us. Again, focusing on that risk mitigation. We're not building a fire suppression program. We're actually building a risk mitigation program that has the capacity to respond to wildfires when they do occur throughout the county. And that's just going to help support our partners across the county in the work that they're doing. It's also going to create a lot more community engagement, both creating awareness with our residents so they can be better prepared, but also outreach programs. We're looking at media campaigns, providing tools for community events and whatnot. That would all be as part of this program. I mentioned previously the home assessment program. We've got a few fire districts that are doing home assessments, but by having a countywide home assessment program, we can help standardize that. We can help support our partners in their assessments, add to their capacity, as well as create capacity and new opportunities in areas where it doesn't exist already. That education, standardizing the education programs, is going to create a lot more efficiencies and effectiveness. We talked about the microgrant program with that fiscal support, and then the data standardization and coordination, really a key component for what we're looking at. And then also in doing this, it's not only going to make us more with the passage of 1A, we heard earlier, that's allowing us to now apply for state grants. Having this program in place gives us a lot of match that we can start showing. That's going to make us more competitive, not only for state grant programs, but also for federal grant programs as well. And then part of this program, we would have a couple of grant specialists as part of this program as well. And one of the goals is for those specialists to be able to support our fire protection districts or even community groups like HOAs. A lot of them are interested in applying for grants, but they don't have the expertise or know how to navigate these grant programs. Part of the capacity that we're building is going to be a resource for those organizations and those groups to help support them in applying for grants and make them more competitive as well. So that's a brief overview of the program proposal that we have in front of you. Any questions?
Mr. Keating, thanks so much for that overview. I thought it might be good just to take a moment too to recognize some of the members of the Jeffco Sheriff's team who are with us today. We really appreciate your being here. And Brian, if I could lean on you to go ahead and introduce members of your team who are here. Maybe we could start with Nate Whittington. And if I see we've got 3 members of the team, unless I'm missing anyone.
Yeah, so we have Nate Whittington. He's our emergency manager, also with the emergency services section of the county, and a really key player in coordination. A lot of the proposal that we're talking about is also going to be supporting all hazard kind of response for the county as well. It's going to be building capacity. And so a lot of that's really going to help augment the work that Nate and his staff does. We have Director Rubenstein here, who's over emergency services and the leader of our shop. And then we have Mark Gudke, who's our critical incident response director within emergency services.
Great. Thankful you're all here today and others who have worked on this through the Sheriff's Office as well. I'll save my comments for the end, but I want to ask commissioners if you have any questions at this time.
Thank you. No questions. I have a comment or two myself. So.
Perfect. Commissioner Zenzinger, why don't we hold our comments then until after we hear testimony? Does that sound good?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So I understand we have one person joining us online and virtually. Is that correct, Ms. La Liberté?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, why don't we go to our person who is online first, and then we'll move next to those of you who are here in the hearing room. And I believe that is Sean Jewell with West Metro Fire.
Yes, good morning, commissioners. How's everyone doing today?
Good morning. We're doing well. We're going to go ahead and get you sworn in, and then you'll have up to 3 minutes for comments. If you'd share your full name and your address, we'll get you sworn in.
Yep, it's Sean Jewell, and the address is 433 South Allison Parkway, Lakewood, Colorado, 80226.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, thank you. You may continue.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Good morning, commissioners. My name is Sean Jewell. I am the Division Chief of Special Operations and Emergency Management for West Metro Fire Rescue. And I would like to speak in support of the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office Wildland Fire Management Program. The wildland urban interface of Jefferson County poses a threat to our communities, and the Wildland Fire Management Program offers support to tackle this issue. The Wildland Fire Management Program will enhance wildfire mitigation efforts and increase capacity for wildfire response. As the representative for West Metro Fire Rescue, I urge the commissioners to vote in favor of the Wildland Fire Management Program, and I appreciate your time today.
Great. Thanks so much, Chief. And I just want to take a moment to recognize Sheriff Marinelli, who's also joined us this morning. Great to see you, Sheriff. Next, we have on our sign-in sheet, and I'll also ask if there's anyone in the hearing room who didn't have a chance to sign in to please come forward as well. We have, take off my glasses for a moment, Katrina Stevens, if you'd please come forward. And actually, I'm sorry, if I can ask everyone who'd like to testify before the board this morning to please go ahead and stand, and we will swear you in at one time for greater efficiency. So if you'd like to testify, please stand. Good to see you all.
All right, if everybody could raise your right hand. Do you all swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right,
Yes, I do.
thank you.
Please go ahead.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Katrina Stevens. I live at 14593 Majestic Eagle Drive in Littleton. And I'm here representing the community ambassadors for the Conifer and Elk Creek Fire Districts. We're here to support the Sheriff's Office Wildland Fire Management Program proposal. As volunteers working to increase the awareness of wildfire risk in the neighborhoods where we live, we are particularly enthusiastic about the community engagement support, the fire preparedness portion of this proposal. specifically the proposed countywide home assessment and microgrant programs. In the Conifer and Elk Creek Fire Districts, we are really lucky to have a robust home assessment program. I cannot overemphasize how valuable it is to have a trained assessor providing site-specific expert guidance to homeowners. A home assessment provides not only all the information individuals need to make their own properties safer, but also the educational and motivational foundation for almost everything that we ambassadors are working to accomplish at the community level. The second part of the proposal that's most exciting to us is the microgrant program for homeowner risk mitigation. As I can tell you from my own experience, creating defensible space and home hardening can be overwhelmingly and depressingly expensive. The neighbors that we are serving are putting in literally hundreds of hours and thousands of dollars per year towards risk mitigation, but for many of them, it is not enough. County-supported grants, even small ones, would not only help offset homeowners' costs, but would also demonstrate that they are not alone, but they're part of a larger community committed to increasing the county's resilience against wildfire. And finally, on a more personal note, I live in and serve the Sampson Maxwell community, which is right up against the land that burned during the Quarry Fire last summer. We were among the first communities evacuated, and if that blaze had jumped the fire lines to the west, our homes are the ones that would have burned. So as you can imagine, we paid very close attention to the ways in which the sheriff's office managed that fire during the evacuations, during the fire, and during the cleanup. Based on that experience alone, I cannot think of a group of people I would trust more to oversee a Jefferson County-wide wildland fire management program than the emergency management section of the sheriff's office led by Brian Keating. In short, this is the right kind of program, desperately needed right now, being proposed by the right people. As community ambassadors, we thank you for supporting it, and thank you for everything you do.
For taking the time to be here this morning. We appreciate you. Next, we have Nancy Balter. And while Nancy's working her way down here, I'd like to also invite the chiefs who'd like to address us during public comment to please come on down. And we'll go to you after Nancy. And I just want to recognize Nancy because Nancy was one of our original members of the Jeffco Wildfire Task Force, and it's great to see you here today.
Thank you. My name is Nancy Balter. I live at 2385 Stonecrop Way. I moved to Genesee, which is where I live, 30 years ago from the East Coast, never realizing that I was moving into a community built in the forest with the associated risk of wildfire. I've been a citizen volunteer ever since I moved to Colorado, and I've been actively involved in fire mitigation education in my community as well as through the Rotary Wildfire Ready initiative. I've also been a member of the Jeffco incident management team for over 20 years, and I want to congratulate Sheriff Marinelli on reestablishing the wildfire focus within emergency management. Also thanking the county commissioners for their work. I saw a very robust program, and then I saw it atrophy, and it has been re-energized, and I'm very grateful for that. I was also very proud to be work as part of the incident management team on the Quarry Fire. I haven't felt that way for a few years, but the increased resources have been great. I wholeheartedly support the expenditure of funds available through the passage of 1A to expand the wildfire effort under Brian Keating. We're so lucky to have someone with his experience heading this effort. And there are huge benefits to coordinating the work of individual fire districts and having our citizens know that the county is taking our wildfire risk seriously. Increased staffing will also facilitate collaboration between departments to keep wildfire matters as a part of all decision-making. I want to encourage Jefferson County to go even further and consider a sales tax designated specifically for fire mitigation. I've reviewed many fire mitigation resources and programs around the country. The most successful have been at the county level Boulder County in Colorado, and several counties in California. And these programs are supported by a sales tax that's been overwhelmingly approved by voters. Thank you for your time.
Thanks so much, Ms. Balter. Next, I'll invite up Chief Rogers. Oh, my goodness. Well, your call. You two can decide.
I wasn't sure I was going to get down here today, so well, he was going to speak for both of us. But thank you for the opportunity to talk to you guys today.
And Chief, I'm sorry if you would just share your address.
I'm Kurt Rogers. I'm the chief at Conifer Fire Department. And I just want to encourage you guys to pass this as well. As you know, we live in probably one of the most dangerous WUI interface zones, along the Front Range. In addition to that, there's critical watershed that we all protect in the mountains that affects the entire Denver metro area. So our ability to work with one another, we all go at Wildland Fire as a group when we have events that start to become large scale events, and it's a cooperative effort. We're very encouraged to see Jefferson County building a program that will help the entire Front Range. So again, I just would encourage you to pass this today, and I appreciate your time today. I'll let Chief Ware speak to you.
Great. Thanks, Chief Rogers. Chief Ware. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Jacob Ware, and I have the honor of serving as the Fire Chief of the Elk Creek Fire Protection District and coordinating with the Conifer Fire Department. I'm here today to express our full support for the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office Wildfire Program. As you know, wildfire risk is not theoretical in Jefferson County. It is real. It is growing, and it demands a united strategic response. Over the last decade, we have witnessed a marked increase in wildfire activity across Colorado, driven by longer fire seasons, more extreme weather patterns, and increasing development in the wildland-urban interface. The Sheriff's Office Wildfire Program is not just a welcome development, it's an essential one. It creates a centralized structure for preparedness, fuels reduction, evacuation coordination, and community outreach. It strengthens interagency coordination and provides a platform for data-driven decision-making that supports all of us on the front lines and allows for informed decision-making as our communities continue to see development pressures in the wildland-urban interface. From the fire district's perspective, we see this program as a force multiplier. It gives us better tools for pre-planning, improved communication during emergency and non-emergency events, and the ability to engage the public in a coordinated fashion through multiple government entities. The resource helps align county-level authority and resources with local fire agencies, homeowner groups, and mitigation organizations, filling gaps that, as a fire protection district, we don't have the bandwidth to address alone. One of the key strengths of this program is the ability to work across jurisdictions. Fire does not stop at district boundaries, and neither should our mitigation, evacuation, or education efforts. Having a dedicated wildfire unit within the Sheriff's Office, with the authority, personnel, and resources to act county-wide, helps knit together a more resilient, responsive system. We recently have seen the benefits of working and training together on the Quarry, Twin Forks, and Jubilee fires within our districts. And we would like to stress the need to ensure the long-term sustainability of this program that's being proposed. Our local ability to manage wildfire risk and complex incidents when they occur couldn't be more important as we see changes with our federal government partners and the National Fire Response System. As we move into another hot, dry summer, now is the time to invest in proactive wildfire risk reduction. The Sheriff's Wildfire Program is not a duplication of existing work. It's a foundation to make all of our efforts more effective. With your continued support, we can create safer communities, protect lives and property, and build a more coordinated response to one of the most pressing threats facing Jefferson County. On behalf of the Elk Creek Fire Protection District, as well as the Conifer Fire Department, thank you for your leadership and thank you for supporting this critical program.
Thanks so much, Chief Ware. Before you walk away, if we could just get your address as well at your
8663 Martin Lane, as well as the fire department, which is 11993 Blackfoot Road in Conifer.
Great. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Next, we have Al Leo. And just a quick show of hands, is there anyone else in the hearing room who'd like to testify? Great, Garrett, I'll go to you next. Mr. Leo, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Good morning.
Thank you.
You'd share your name and address?
Yeah, my name is Al Leo. I live at 19293 Silver Ranch Road in Conifer. Thank you for the opportunity to address this board this morning. I speak to you as a resident of Jeffco and Conifer off of Pleasant Park Road, who's learned a lot about wildfire in the last 6 years as a resident and my previous 3 years as a community ambassador. First, I want to commend this board, the sheriff's office, and the county for making wildfire mitigation and resilience a clear priority. Your commitment through policy action and funding shows that you're truly walking the talk. Thank you. The release of the Jefferson County Community Wildfire Protection Plan in October last year, to me, was really a major step. It clearly outlined the wildfire risks and the actions needed to address them, and the key recommendation to establish the wildland fire management program that Brian described to us today. I think that it's a great program and outlines all the things that we really need to do on top of the things that the chiefs have shared with us today. Item 11 in the budget allocates $6.8 million to fund the program, turning the CWPP's vision into action. I fully support its inclusion in the revised budget. This is a critical investment in our county's safety and resilience, and I ask you to approve the spending item. Thank you.
Great. Thanks so much, Mr. Leo, for your comments. And also congratulations on your recent election to the Elk Creek Fire District Board. Is there anyone else in the hearing room who would like to make any comments during public test? Please come forward. Good to see you, Mr. Stevens.
Good morning. Garrett Stevens with Jefferson Conservation District. We're at 6th and Kipling on the Federal Center. Thanks again for allowing the testimony today. I started here 11 years ago at the Conservation District, right when sort of the previous era of the County Fire Mitigation Program was kind of going dormant, so to speak. And first off, it's been really great to see the progress that has been made over that time. It didn't just stop at the formation of the Wildfire Commission and just sort of having meetings, which is an easy place to stall out. So it's first off, we should all sort of congratulate ourselves on the progress that's been collectively made in standing up this program. Secondly, at the Conservation District, we focus on mid-sized to larger sized properties where we can address fire mitigation at the 50 to 150 acre per project scale. That does not touch a lot of landowners, though. We often will work with 1 or 2 or 3 landowners per project to sort of reach that acreage target. And so to see the county come through with a program that's going to support more homeowners and be able to work with people at a variety of scales is great. On the public safety front, when it comes to protecting homes and protecting infrastructure, the types of projects we do out in the forested landscape can have an impact on public safety, but what's most important is to focus on defensible space and home hardening. That's what the data shows really protects communities and infrastructure, reduces costs to governments after these disasters happen. And so Jefferson Conservation District is in full support of this budget item and the new fire mitigation program, and we look forward to partnering with you in the future.
Great. Thanks so much, Mr. Stevens. Appreciate your partnership and collaboration. And one last time, I'll ask if there's anyone in the hearing room. There is no one else online who'd like to testify, but again, anyone else in the hearing room? Perfect. We will then go ahead and close public testimony for this portion. And I'd like to take just a couple of minutes. I'm going to time myself because I can go on a long time about this issue. And as you know, it's an issue I am very passionate about. And I want to take a moment to recognize how significant this morning is in terms of the investment that we're about to make, in terms of the incredible lift and work that has been done over the last several years. And I remember my first year as a county commissioner talking with Chief Rogers, Chief Ware, Chief Weegee, Chief McLaughlin at the time, and others, other partners who are here today to learn more about the county's relationship with our chiefs and our fire districts, our wildfire ambassadors and more, to determine what was going well and where were the gaps. And it was from those conversations and a study session, you might recall, that we had early on that led to the formation of the task force that Nancy Balter's on. And if I could just ask members of the original Jeffco Wildfire Task Force to please stand, because I know we have a number of you with us this morning, just to thank you so much for that early work. Thank you. We have members of our county team as well, like Chris O'Keefe and Tom Hobie, as well as Kim Sorrells from our county attorney's office and others. And our goal was to get our arms around what was working well and where were the gaps. And the Board of County Commissioners at that time had charged the task force with looking specifically at how we could go on the offensive and be more proactive in terms of mitigation. But there were other issues that surfaced as well: greater communications, more strategic advocacy. But a big piece of it was the resources to get this work done, and also the partnerships and the collaboration. And we were so excited, fast forward a couple of years, to work closely with Sheriff Marinelli and her team, Brian and all the folks who are with us today, and others, along with our chiefs and other partners, to really determine how we move this work forward in a very thoughtful way. And so grateful, Brian, to you for the immense amount of work you did with other collaborators on the CWPP, because it really got our arms around all of those key strategies that you talked about and more. I also want to give a shout out, though, to our planning and zoning team and our building department, because our building department is going to be responsible for implementing WUI codes that have been implemented statewide. Jefferson County was very much a part of that conversation as it worked its way through the legislature. And Tom Hobie with Jeffco Open Space and his team have been at the forefront of mitigation that I want to always underscore is grounded in science and best practices. And our goal is to balance the trail experience with ultimately keeping our community safe, especially as our county faces 98% higher wildfire risk than other counties in the United States. I'm looking at Brian so I can get my data points accurately down today. But this also has huge implications, not only for community safety, our local economies, homeowners, and better wildfire resiliency, but it also directly has an impact on the next big phase of work that we're focused on, which is homeowners insurance, which for so many of our constituents is completely out of reach or just simply unaffordable. And please know we're doing a lot of work at the state and the local levels with our legislators. I want to give a special shout out to Senator Cutter, who has worked with us throughout this process at the state level as well, as we look at local policies too. So again, we want to thank you so much. And finally, I want to also give a special shout out to our Jefferson County voters, because one of our points that stalled our work, the work kept going. We knew kind of what the foundation was, but we needed the funding to invest to launch it, which is what today is all about. So it's especially exciting for the Board of County Commissioners to invest in 2025 dollars that will help take all of this important work to the next level in terms of greater wildfire resiliency. That was 4 minutes. So with that, I'll turn it over to my counterparts my colleagues on the Board of County Commissioners, and I will start with Commissioner Kerr.
Great, thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank Mr. Whittington for being here today. It must be take your dad to work day. So thanks for being here. Just to reiterate and underline a few of the things that Commissioner Dahlkemper has said, that with the length and intensity of wildfire season increasing, the risk has been there. It's not like it just suddenly popped up recently. The risk has always been there, but it certainly has been increasing with our climate challenges, and it's important that we address those underlying issues as well. But I do want to also thank the voters of Jefferson County for the passage of 1A, because without that, we would not be here today having this discussion. That is the underlying reason of providing the resources for taking this bold step. And if you don't think it's a bold step, this is what, as politicians, we often get accused of growing government and spending money. We are spending money, we are growing government for the good of our community. We are making sure that we are spending our resources to protect our community, and that's an important thing to do. And just like to thank the voters for the passage of 1A, Brian and team, for your work in bringing this forward, your bold vision, and you have to ask. And you came forward and asked, and we're saying yes. So let's move forward. Thank you.
Great. Thanks so much, Commissioner Kerr. Commissioner Zenzinger.
Thank you very much. I have the privilege of just recently joining the Board of County Commissioners. And so I understand that a lot of this work has occurred thanks to prior boards, to the work that has been ongoing for years. And I get to benefit today building off of all of that work. I want to give a huge shout out to Commissioner Dahlkemper in particular, who has been working on this literally your entire time that you have been a member of this board, but not just as a board member, but Commissioner Dahlkemper has been integral in conversations at a statewide level. She has taken the Jefferson County leadership and the Jefferson County way to the state level and has really demonstrated a remarkable approach and understanding with regard to this work. So I recognize it, and I hope that our audience members and everyone that is listening also recognizes your leadership in this, in bringing all of this work to the forefront. I know that it does not occur overnight, so it's been a steady drumbeat for you, and I'm appreciative of that work. I also wanted to point out a conversation that we had when this item was brought to us during a briefing, that in addition to point number 11 on this item, we are also approving point number 1, which is funds in our Business Innovation and Technology Department to support the wildland fire management program. We are also supporting number 3, which is an appropriation for our county attorney's office so that they can also support the wildland fire management program. It's also for number 4, which is money for the transportation department in order to support the wildfire regulation update, so that we can all work in concert with one another across multiple disciplines and multiple departments. I want to point out that this also supports number 5, which is allowing some resources to our Human Resources Department so that they can work on staffing, work on hiring all of these new positions that we are approving today. Also, number 13, which is for some funds to be able to transfer into our insurance fund so that we can support these efforts. Number 15 on this list is to go to our budget, strategy, innovation, and finance department so that they can work on purchasing staff support for this program. Number 20 on this list is, again, another appropriation of the insurance fund for the operations and staff support of this wildfire management program. And then also number 28 on the list, which is increasing the staffing positions in the sheriff's office by 37 regular positions, all in support in an effort to support this wildland fire mitigation program. So this is comprehensive. This is not just a few little positions. This is across the agency. Everybody working together so that we can provide safety and greater support for our wildland land fire efforts. So I just wanted to point that out because we had a conversation about this in our briefing, but I wanted to uplift that for those that are joining us today, that it's not just one item, it's multiple items. And it's not just to build or to add 1 or 2 positions, it's to build a program that is comprehensive, top to bottom, so that we can do a better job of increasing safety and protecting our community from wildfire.
Great. Thanks so much, Commissioner Zenzinger, for those comments. Really appreciate it. I don't think there are any more questions or other comments at this point. So I feel as if we need almost a drum roll or some background music. And I'm going to ask for a motion to approve item 6.9.
I move for the approval of regular agenda item 6.9.
Ms.
Second.
Ms. Blumquist, will you please call the vote?
Commissioner Kerr,
Aye.
Commissioner Zenzinger,
Aye.
Commissioner Dahlkemper.
Yes, and that motion passes. Thank you all so much for being here this morning and for your support over the years and what we're about to do together. Thank you. Next is the hearing consent portion of our meeting. We have no items on our hearing consent agenda. And we'll just wait a sec or two while we're clearing the hearing room and we can get the PowerPoint up and running, and we'll move to the hearing regular agenda next. We do have one item on our hearing regular agenda, and Ms. Blumquist, would you please read hearing regular agenda item 10.1 into the record?
10.1, Resolution CC 25-174, case number 24-131608, RZ rezoning, case name Haven Crest Official Development Plan, owner applicant Lenco Enterprises LLC, a Colorado Limited Liability Company, location 13645 West 57th Avenue, Arvada, approximate area 5 acres. Purpose, rezone from agricultural 2 to planned development to allow the future platting and development of a 20 single-family dwelling units. Case manager, Sarah Homeyer.
Thanks so much. And next we'll go to Jeffco Planning and Zoning, Sarah Hoffmeyer, for a brief presentation on item 10.1.
Good morning. My name is Sarah Homeyer. Today we will be discussing case number 24-131608 RZ, a rezoning case located at 13645 West 52nd Avenue. The applicant is requesting to create a new planned development, the Haven Crest Official Development Plan, or ODP, to allow all uses and standards defined by the Residential 1B or R1B Zone District, with specific modifications to allow up to 20 residential lots. The subject property is in northern Jefferson County, north of West 52nd Avenue, located between Coors Street to the west and Bristol Street to the east. The applicant is requesting to create this new planned development, the Haven Crest ODP, to allow all uses and standards defined by the R1B Zone District with specific modifications. This would allow up to 20 residential lots, which is more restrictive than the number of lots allowed in the standard R1B Zone District due to the lot size minimums. An additional modification defined by the ODP would be to allow for modified side setbacks for residential structures along West 52nd Avenue that would be inclusive of a 10-foot landscape tract. This landscape tract would be required as part of the plat process for the subject property if this rezoning is approved. Staff and the Board of County Commissioners review rezoning applications against the following criteria: compatibility with the surrounding area, conformance with the county's Comprehensive Master Plan, or CMP, mitigation of negative impacts, infrastructure and service availability, and the effect on the health, safety, and welfare of the community. This first criterion is the compatibility with existing and allowable land uses in the surrounding area. The proposed uses are compatible with these existing and allowable land uses. The proposed zoning pairs well with existing residential uses already surrounding the subject property. If this rezoning is approved, the impacts to the surrounding community are expected to be minimal. The proposed allowed uses in the ODP are the residential 1B uses, which are the same as the allowed uses under the residential 1A zoning that surrounds the subject property to the north, east, and west, but with slightly different lot and building standards. The CMP contains goals and policies that are used to guide land use decisions. Staff has concluded that the request is in conformance with the applicable goals and policies of the CMP. The CMP recommends a residential land use with a density of 4 dwelling units per acre for the subject area. The ODP has been drafted to restrict the number of units to a maximum of 20 single-family dwelling lots on this subject property. As the subject property is 5 acres, this would mean that the proposed density would be up to 4 dwelling units per acre and is compatible with the area. There are no physical constraints that have been identified on this property that would be negatively impacted by the proposed ODP. At the time of the initial application, the single-family dwelling that was on the property was identified as a possible historic resource due to its age, over 50 years old. This structure is no longer on the subject property, and no specific community resources have been identified that would be negatively impacted by the proposed ODP. The existing road network and infrastructure have been determined to be adequate to support the proposed use of the site. Staff has not identified any negative impacts of the rezoning to the surrounding area that have not been mitigated. The ODP has restricted the number of residential lots to a maximum of 20, which is compatible with the density of the surrounding area. The proposed uses will not result in significant light, air, odor, or noise impacts to the subject or surrounding properties. Visual impacts would be minimal to surrounding properties. Staff's analysis found that existing infrastructure and services are available and adequate to support the uses proposed by this rezoning. If this request is approved, traffic to the site is anticipated to be minimal. Staff finds that the proposed rezoning will not negatively impact the health, safety, and welfare of the residents and landowners in the surrounding area, and no unmitigated negative effects relating to the proposed rezoning have been identified. Public notification for this case was done in accordance with the regulations in the zoning resolution. Staff received 18 community responses regarding this proposal. Some were concerned with the existing conditions and development impact on West 52nd Avenue, especially safety and traffic. A traffic study was evaluated by staff through the rezoning application process, and staff did not have concerns. An updated traffic study would be required at the time of platting the subject property. Some stated concerns about increased density on the site and its potential negative impact on wells, environmental conditions, and flooding and drainage. A drainage report and detailed evaluation of the site conditions would be required at the time of platting the subject property. Some responses were focused on concerns of density and lot sizes, and most comments were concerned with a planned development zone district allowing alternative uses on the subject property, such as commercial or high-density residential, and the ways that this would align with the surrounding uses and community character. Staff has clarified to these community members that this proposed ODP follows the allowed uses of the R1B zone district and would restrict the site to 20 single-family residential lots. Staff's analysis concludes that the proposed rezoning is in conformance with specific land use goals and policies outlined within the CMP and therefore meets the land use recommendations of the CMP. Potential negative impacts to the surrounding area have been adequately addressed using development standards in the ODP, and infrastructure and services are adequate and available to support these proposed uses. Staff has no unresolved issues related to this rezoning application and recommend approval of the rezoning request. If this rezoning is approved, the applicant would be required to submit a plat in order to develop the proposed uses on the property. The plat process involves an intensive review of the applicant's proposed lot layout, construction documents, grading, drainage, parking, landscaping, and other plans for compliance with county regulations. If this plat was approved, the applicant would then apply for permits. And this concludes my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
Thanks, Ms. Homeyer. Commissioners, do you have any questions at this time? No? All right, we'll move forward then and hear next from the applicants. And we'll ask you to please go ahead and rise, say your first and last name, your address, and then the clerk will swear you in.
If you can just both raise your right hand. Okay. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right. Thank you. If you could both please state and spell your names for the record and your address.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Donald Rozier. It's R-O-S-I-E-R. I'm managing partner for Community Design Collaborative. My home office is at 6583 South Xenophon Street, Littleton, 80127. I just want to add real quick, did you notice how good spacing all the fire chiefs did and everybody here? Their mitigation, even, they take it very serious, even in the hearing rooms. So congratulations on moving forward with that.
Great, thank you. And would you like to introduce yourself as well? Will you be speaking?
Yes, my name's Steve Lindsay, one of the principals of Linco Enterprises, 12650 West 54th Drive, Arvada.
Great. Please go ahead with your presentation. You've got 20 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to begin my presentation today by thanking Sarah Homeyer, Lauren Caruso, and the entire Jeffco Planning and Engineering team for their time reviewing our submittal documents and on this project and answering all the numerous processing and technical questions that we had. I am in front of you today, this morning, to discuss the rezoning and redevelopment of a 5-acre parcel of ground located at 13645 West 52nd Avenue that we refer to as Haven Crest. I put in all this fancy animation. We'll see if it works. It is. So thank you, Sarah. My presentation this morning will address a few key points. I will start by introducing the property owner and applicant, which he's already introduced himself. I also like to introduce Colby Lindsay is also here today, who is also one of the owners of Linco Enterprises. I will then summarize the different review agencies who have reviewed the rezoning application. Then we will look at the property via a quick aerial flyby. I will present the current zoning for the area. Next, I will show how the property fits within the comprehensive master plan. And then finally, I will present the preliminary plan for the Haven Crest community. So as already introduced, the ownership and the applicant is Steve Lindsay and Colby Lindsay, Linco Enterprises. We also have with us today Jacob Morris. He is one of the owners and the civil engineer on the project. I also would like to thank once again Sarah and Lauren for their great job. They represent the county extremely well. We are within the water and sewer district for North Table Mountain. We have recently been merged into the Arvada Fire Protection District. Before it was Fairmount Fire Protection District with this latest election. So we've been working with Stephen Parker, who is one of the fire marshals. We are within the Prospect Recreation and Park District. And as I introduced before, I will be taking over and doing most of the entitlement and talking to you this morning. Thank you. So this is the tricky one. All right. So I would like to start off with a quick Google Earth flyby this morning. Coming in from the south at about 10,000 feet, we head north to the property. The Haven Crest parcel is located on the north side of 52nd Avenue between Coors Street on the west, Bristol Street to the east, Cole Circle on the north. There was a very old, as you heard, there was a very old barn and a dilapidated home on the site. This property or this structure really kind of posed a safety risk. It started to fall over this last winter due to a heavy snowstorm and wind in a windstorm. Those structures have been raised or taken down and disposed of by the property owner. There are 2 remaining structures on site. There's an older cinder block barn that is there, and then an older wooden barn that still exists, but those are going to be taken down here within the next couple weeks. And with my next slide here, I want to apologize. Sarah did a great job in her presentation, but I'll probably duplicate a little bit of the same information that she brought up. The property is currently within the agricultural A2 zone district, where it has been used to support agricultural and residential activities in unincorporated Jefferson County for quite some time. The information on this slide was extracted from the county's website and does a great job of showing the property and the current zoning of the neighborhoods immediately to the west, to the north, and east of the property. All have residential R1 and R1A zoning. I have included the chart at the top right. I know it's kind of small and I apologize for that. That identifies different allowed uses under the current zone district of that A2, which it has a wide range of zoning allowed uses from farming, greenhouses, hatchery, poultry farm, vet hospital, cemetery, and a whole other arrays of uses. Information on this slide is from the North Plains Area Plan and is part of the overall comprehensive master plan. The recommendations from the CMP for the property is residential at a 4 dwelling unit per acre density, the same as the existing neighborhoods immediately surrounding the property. The applicant supports this area plan designation to develop 20 single-family residential lots as it is consistent with the surrounding community designation and would be complementary to the existing homes in the area. As you can tell, I really like Google Earth, so I apologize again. So I would like to take a few minutes to show the existing developments bordering the Haven Crest property. These pictures were taken from Google Earth with a satellite capture date of October 19th of 2023. So this is looking at the community to the east of Haven Crest. You can see homes, garages, and an ADU that currently exists on those lots. Using the Google Earth measuring tool, you can see that the setbacks vary between the closest structure, which is it's a 2-story white, that ADU is approximately 10 feet off the property line. And a 2-story structure, another structure, the largest setback structure is you see the red house, it has like a 70-foot setback. So it really varies in this neighborhood quite a bit. Looking west from Haven Crest, backyard setbacks to the property line are between 25 and 85 feet. Not inclusive of multiple small little sheds. So I didn't take those into consideration, was the main structures themselves. Looking north from Haven Crest, backyard setbacks to the property line are between 45 and 65 feet. Once again, not inclusive of the barns or the sheds, I should say. And then when we look to the south, these are the homes that are right off of West 52nd Avenue. The front yard setbacks to the edge of asphalt are anywhere between 33 feet and about 58 feet. So as mentioned in previous slides, the plan as proposed is to incorporate and limit the site to 20 single-family detached residential lots and rezone the parcel utilizing the plan development process, following the restrictions associated with the R1B zone district. Shown on this illustrative plan, the 20 single-family detached homes will be located off a central cul-de-sac and take access from West 52nd Avenue. With their other communities in the area, the applicant has seen a demand for artfully crafted, unique, non-cookie cutter, low-maintenance constructed homes that offers a serene living environment where homeowners can enjoy modern amenities without the hassle of extensive upkeep. Taking those items into consideration, the community will incorporate larger than normal backyards and expanded front setbacks. The homes will be primarily one level or ranch style homes with various floor plans and elevations that fit most every type of buyer. They will incorporate full basements with an option to finish the basement. Attractive exterior designs incorporating various materials. ADA customization will also be available. And a reduced exterior maintenance concept is being developed right now where lawn care and snow removal is included for each one of the homes. Based upon the layout shown, the average lot is right around 140 feet deep. So it's fairly deep comparably when you look at new home developments recently. Lot widths vary between 55 and upwards of 78 feet, depending on if you're in the cul-de-sac or not. As Sarah mentioned, a traffic study was completed for the proposed development by Sustainable Traffic Solutions, following the recommendations outlined in the Jefferson County Transportation Design and Construction Manual. The access to the site on 52nd Avenue is expected to operate at a level of service B during the morning and evening peak hours. Next slide, please. A little more of a close in here. You know, at 140 feet deep, the residential lots being proposed are deeper than what you typically see in new housing communities, matching the lot depths of the existing homes. So if you look to the, I'm going off memory here, so I apologize. The lot depths to the lots to the west are about 130 feet deep. The lot depth to the east on those existing homes are about 148 feet deep. So we're right in the middle of those lot depths of the existing homes. By having a deep lot, this will allow the applicant to construct homes offset in staggering. If you'll see there, the front offsets, that is done on purpose. This will eliminate that alley effect that you sometimes see with new home construction. They're not all going to be at 20 feet or 25 feet setback that you look down and the front doors are all equal all the way across. This is they're going to be staggered, and this is done on purpose to give it a more livable feeling. Oh, I also would like to point out the sidewalk along West 52nd Avenue is missing in this area. In fact, that north side of the street is not complete, so it's not a complete street in this area. There are kids who walk down to the middle school. Along with this project, the development of this new community, that missing link of sidewalk will be installed. So now the kids don't have to worry about walking in the dirt, walking in the street. They can walk right down the sidewalk, and those two sidewalk connections will be linked together. Next, please. The entire team, we worked diligently to design a for-sale new home community that complements the neighborhood and fulfills all the criteria for the rezoning as outlined in the county code. And we feel that we have achieved that goal. So on behalf of the entire Haven Crest project team, I would like to thank you for your review of this exciting and needed residential project. The ownership and the entire development team are here this morning to answer any questions that you may have on this rezoning application. Thank you so very much.
Great. Thanks so much, Mr. Rozier. Commissioners, any questions at this time? No? Commissioner Kerr? All right. Let me ask if we have anyone in the hearing room who would like to provide public testimony on this specific agenda item. And is there anyone joining us online who'd like to speak?
No one online.
Okay, great. All right. Any other questions or comments on this particular item. I actually think it's a very exciting development. And of course, housing is at a premium, not only in Jefferson County, but across Colorado. And understand that there is some interest at the Planning Commission among community members who came forward. And I know that you've been working through those issues as well. And it seems like a great project from what I've read in the packet. So I have no questions other than those comments. And with that, I think we'll move forward with motion. May I have a motion for hearing regular agenda item 10.1?
I move for the approval of hearing regular agenda item 10.1.
Second.
Ms. Blomquist, would you please call the vote?
Commissioner Kerr?
Aye.
Commissioner Zinzinger?
Aye.
Commissioner Dahlkemper?
Yes. And that motion passes. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Commissioners. Appreciate that.
Great to see you. Next on our agenda is a second round of public comment. And is there anyone who has not provided public comment in the hearing room who'd like to address the board? Or Ms. La Liberté, is there anyone online?
No one online.
Great, and I don't see anyone here in the hearing room, so we will close this portion of public comment and move next to reports. And I will start first with Commissioner today.
Yes, I have a few. First, I just wanted to acknowledge our Jefferson County Head Start program. They were informed by the policy and planning team at the Office of Head Start federally that they're being recognized and highlighted as an outstanding example of how to provide nutrition and healthy eating services in Head Start settings. So this is a really well-deserved recognition. And in addition to receiving this acknowledgement, they're also going to demonstrate how Jefferson County is an exemplary program by modeling it and sharing it with other Head Start programs. So they will be putting out to the Head Start universe that Jefferson County Head Start is serving up scratch-made meals with purpose and heart, led by an executive chef and guided by a nutritionist. The program crafts nutritionally dense meals using locally sourced meats, fruits, and vegetables. Their mission goes beyond meeting dietary needs. It's about cultivating lifelong healthy eating habits that help children thrive in the classroom and beyond. By focusing on balanced, wholesome meals, Jefferson County is giving every child the fuel to grow, learn, and succeed. This culinary forward approach is setting a gold standard for what Head Start nutrition can look like. So I just wanted to give them congratulations to Rachel and her whole team for providing such a great example. Second, I wanted to offer up my thanks and gratitude for the Jeffco Affordable Housing Advocacy Committee, steering committee, for hosting yesterday a local government and developer forum. This was a unique opportunity to bring together developers as well as municipal and county leaders to talk about key policies, processes, and factors that can help streamline and incentivize affordable housing development in our communities, specifically around 60 to 120 AMI. And it was a great conversation. I'm extremely appreciative to Avel Montoya for joining me on that panel and for helping to provide great conversation. I'm also grateful to Chris O'Keefe for meeting with me and going over some of the key programming and opportunities that we have here in Jeffco so that I could share that on the panel. It was a really engaging discussion between local governments and developers. Those developers were a part of a program that is administered through our EDC program called Develop Jeffco. And these are relationships with developers in our community and working our contacts through Jansen and his team, invited them to the Colorado Gives Foundation who I would also like to thank for hosting us yesterday so that we could have this engaging discussion between local governments and developers about our housing goals, our housing needs. In particular, we focused on policies and tools that are available in each of our municipalities within Jefferson County. We had panelists from Arvada, Wheat Ridge, Golden, and Lakewood to talk about our individual community priorities, our unique needs, as well as pro tips that we have for developers that are interested in submitting proposals to our communities. And then after the panel discussion, we broke out into rooms where we were able to have one-on-one conversations with communities and make some key connections around this topic. So it's all in an effort to try and foster more time and attention and resources on providing affordable housing for that missing middle, that 60 to 120% AMI. So it was a great function, and it was really an honor to be able to participate in it. Speaking of Jeffco EDC, I did attend the latest meeting, and I will defer any update to Commissioner Dahlkemper, who serves on the executive committee, about the search for the new interim director and new director and how that's going. And then lastly, had an opportunity to also attend the Metro Area County Commissioners meeting. And at that meeting, we had a very robust discussion about ways in which the 7 or 8 counties that participate in MAC can work together, how we can coalesce around a shared and common goal. We listened to 7 or 8 presentations from each community where we made our pitch to one another about opportunities for collaboration. I think that as a group that we will be settling on ways that we can coordinate around our emergency and disaster preparedness and response, as well as taking a specific look at ways that we might be able to address homelessness during those severe and extreme weather events, and looking to be able to possibly coordinate efforts between counties, because when a storm hits our area, it definitely doesn't stop and end at our municipal borders, so or our county borders. So with that, that is all I have for today.
Great. Thanks so much, Commissioner Zenzinger. Appreciate it. Commissioner Kerr.
Great, thank you. I attended a grand opening of DeLife Golf in Lakewood, a interesting golf simulator business that was opened and is run and owned by a Green Mountain graduate, young man who seems to have a lot of passion for golf and for business. So congratulations on their grand opening. I'd like to thank everyone who celebrated Juneteenth. Of course, Jefferson County recognizes that as an official holiday. And one of the events I was a part of on Juneteenth in the evening was also a solstice party put on by the New Energy Coalition. They have an event every year around this time, around the solstice, to celebrate new energy businesses, new energy ideas. And I was honored to be asked to introduce the recipient of a Lifelong Achievement Award, Governor Bill Ritter. And it was fun catching up with him, all the things that he and his family have been doing over the years since we worked together downtown. Tomorrow is Bike to Work Day. There are stations all across the metro area. You can certainly look up if you're commuting to work for the first time, or perhaps you have you're working from home tomorrow, but you want to get out and just visit one or two of the stations, you can go find that through Bicycle Colorado or Denver Bike to Work Day. Look up where those stations are, and of course, just asking everyone to give that extra look if you are driving or biking or walking. Make sure that we all get to arrive alive. Looking forward to some Pride events this weekend in Denver and their big parade, planning to take part in some of those. And also next week, since we do not have hearings next week, do want to wish everyone a happy and safe 4th of July, where we as a country will be celebrating our independence from a king, ironically. And also wanted to mention that some events happening around Jefferson County, both on the 3rd and the 4th. Up in Evergreen, they'll be having a balloon glow. I think that's in the evening of the 3rd. I'm not exactly sure what that is. I looked it up and it doesn't explain exact, but I think I can imagine what a balloon glow is. Also at Clement Parks, they of course have fireworks, and the Big Bash at Belmar will have a drone show. So however you celebrate, have a happy and safe 4th. Please remember our friends, family, and our pets that don't particularly care for this time of year with all the fireworks going off. So please make sure you're helping them out, and remember your neighbors' pets as well. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Commissioner Kerr. We appreciate that update. And a couple of items from me that I'd love to share. One, the Gateway to the Rockies Opioid Council met yesterday, and it was a significant meeting for GROC because we made awards of opioid settlement funding for prevention, education, and treatment. We'll have more details on that soon to share in terms of which organizations were awarded the amounts and more. We are so grateful to the 47 applicants who submitted applications for funding, and want to recognize everyone on our Gateway to the Rockies Opioid Council who vote on these matters, as well as our advisory team, and those who work so hard behind the scenes, especially our county attorney's office, Eric Butler and John Biondi. I don't know where we would be without them in terms of this work. We're so grateful for Dr. Chelsea Shore Miller. Now, congratulations on her recent marriage, and also her tremendous work, and as well as our I don't know if it's specifically the budget team, the SPA team, or the procurement team, but Chris Habgood, we're giving you a big shout out as well. Thanks to everyone on our county team. We're the fiscal agent for that work, which involves 3 counties, Gilpin, Clear Creek, and Jefferson County. So more to come on that. Also, wanted to circle back to Commissioner Zenzinger and Jeffco EDC CEO. We have 3 incredible, talented finalists for the CEO position. They are coming to Jefferson County this week. Members of EDC will have an opportunity to meet them. There are a number of different social events, and then our hiring committee will also do another round of follow-up interviews, but I am genuinely excited about all 3 women who are finalists for this position. So more to come about the EDC CEO search as well. We hope to make a decision by the end of this week or early next week. The Jeffco Wildfire Commission is going to meet this Thursday afternoon. We have a packed agenda, and we'll be looking forward at next steps regarding the commission's role, our areas of priority. We had a retreat at our last meeting. We're working closely with our consultant to really define what the next year or 2 looks like. And of course, leaders like Brian Keating, the Sheriff's Office, our community members, and so many others, our county team are part of that effort as well. So looking forward to that conversation on Thursday. And it was great to be a part of the West Colfax Community Association monthly breakfast. Great news about new affordable housing units that will become available in Lakewood. That was wonderful to hear, and then also provided updates on proposed cuts to and our concerns as a Board of County Commissioners regarding SNAP and Medicaid and much more. And then I just wanted to dovetail on Commissioner Kerr's comment about Juneteenth, which is such a powerful reminder of the ongoing struggle for equity and justice in our community and across communities in the United States. And really appreciated being part of the Juneteenth events in Denver. Our family went to the Juneteenth celebration and recognition in Denver as well. And then last but not least, I want to recognize someone who has been an integral part of Jefferson County for more than 20 years, and she is retiring. Leah Varnell is the executive director of CASA Jeffco Gilpin. And this week there is a retirement party, I think it's on Thursday, for Leah here at the county, recognizing her incredible leadership and her role in helping children in our community who are abused and neglected and need advocates as their cases work through the court system. She is formidable, has a huge heart for this work. We're going to miss her in this leadership role very much. Melissa Helmuth will be the new CEO of Jeffco Gilpin CASA, and she is tremendous and has been part of the organization for some time, and I'm also proud to serve on the organization's advisory council. With that, I'll turn it over to County Manager.
Good morning,
Joe.
Commissioner. It's funny. I'm glad I'm not the only one that does that. Thank you. I just had one quick update. I actually like to recognize one of our employees, Sydney Boyd, who works at our Rocky Mountain Metropolitan Airport. She's our public affairs and communications specialist out at the airport. She was recently elected to serve on the board of the Colorado Airport Operators Association for a 2-year term. And that came about as a result of an election last week that was held at their spring conference. And the reason that I wanted to recognize her, she's really leaned into her job and is making a significant difference at the airport and in the community. And I wanted to thank Eric Dahl, who's our airport director, who is present today because he is the one that hired Sydney Boyd. So congratulations, Sydney, and thanks for her service on that board. And great job, Eric, finding top-notch employees.
Great news. Thanks so much. County Attorney Kim Sorrells.
I have no reports, but I do want to thank the board for the additional support for the county attorney's office to help support the efforts of all of the 1A projects and provide continued legal advice on all of those things.
Great. Thank you so much. It's exciting to see all of this work get underway, and I appreciate Commissioner Zenzinger sharing more about how those dollars would be allocated to all of the organizations that support, departments that support this work moving forward. We will go ahead and adjourn and reconvene at 10:45 upstairs on the 5th floor for our briefings. Thanks so much, everyone.